Guys, look at my broccoli. It's quite hard to differentiate between cauliflower, broccoli, and smallwiki when they're just growing up because they have similar foliage. So I mixed my seeds and just transplanted, and now I have a surprise. In one of the lives, we talked about the money plant. Yes, this is how the money plant looks like, but I have the other that is called money plant as well. But this is our typical money plant for those of you who don't know. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lois. Yes, if you're new on here, we are all about urban farming, but every now and then we venture into other things, which makes us a family of all. So please feel welcome and consider subscribing if you haven't already, especially if you love urban farming and everything else we have to offer on here. Yes, guys, today I am just in my garden. It is 4 p.m. and I decided to just come and chill in the garden. And while at it, I decided to share one or two things with you about herbs. And we're going to talk about rosemary, particularly today. What do you know about rosemary? Do you know how it looks like? Most of you know about herbs, but you don't know what they look like. So a rosemary plant looks like this. And today I am going to talk more about it. I have a variety of herbs growing in my garden, but I want to particularly talk about rosemary. Most people have uh, problems when it comes to propagating rosemary, and it takes quite a while to have rosemary seeds. So how do you propagate rosemary when you have a plant like this? This also was one of the propagated ones, and I decided to put them here for easy transportation. Normally, I grow a lot of things here in Kampala and take them over to Soroti, but also I do sell some of them if they're in excess. So if you want rosemary plants, don't hesitate to contact me on our WhatsApp number, business number, which is on my bio. But yeah, what is a rosemary plant? So rosemary plant is a perennial, and maybe you're not acquainted with what a perennial plant is. Yeah, it's a plant that will stay on for a longer period of time. So when you have a rosemary plant like this, it's going to be with you for some time. So you don't expect it to die within a year or so. It stays much longer than that. I have plants which have stayed with me like for 4 years now, and they're doing still well. So if you have a rosemary plant like this and you maintain it well, then it is going to last you a very, very long time, and that's why we call it a perennial plant. It is possible to propagate your rosemary plant in whatever container you have, but it will require you to have a much bigger container or somewhere that you can just put it on ground for it to grow bigger. So how do we grow our rosemary plant? Uh, Personally, I haven't bought rosemary seeds since I started propagating it. I normally just use the cuttings from the major plants that I have. I bought a couple of rosemary plants, and from them I have now so many growing. And today I want to talk about how we can propagate and why we should propagate and have rosemary plants in our gardens. Yes, guys, like I said, it is a herb with a number of benefits. You can grow your rosemary in polythene bags like this and then transfer them afterwards somewhere else on ground or in a much bigger container. I have them growing in containers like this. If you don't have much space, you can have them grow here. You can put them where they can access sunlight. So I've had this growing here for a long, long time, and it is still thriving. All you need to do is, of course, keep poking and adding on some fertilizer whatever, so that the soil does not get depleted of nutrients to provide its nutritional needs. Yeah, so if you don't have much space, you can just use a container like I am using. And if you have much bigger space, you can put it on ground or use a much bigger container to give you a more lushy plant. I just left the garden to come over and continue our discussion here on the side of the balcony. And it always makes me very happy to just sit around looking at the garden. So I am over here and I'm over there, and just makes me very happy. So I just left the other side to come and sit on the balcony to look at the sunset. It's very beautiful. So let's continue our discussion about the rosemary herb. Why is it important for us to have rosemary growing in our kitchen gardens? So we know that rosemary contains a number of nutritional values. It is known to contain minerals like calcium, iron, manganese, and of course vitamin B6, which are very essential for our health. It also contains a number of antioxidants and of course anti-inflammatory compounds, which are also very important. Traditionally, rosemary is used to alleviate muscle pain, used in hair growth, promoting your hair growth, and a number of other things which I am not going to handle individually. But yes, it has a number of health benefits which can be very important for us individually. So that makes it very essential to have it in our gardens. But of course, we shouldn't overdose ourselves with these herbs. So sometimes when you hear the health benefits that rosemary is good for this and that, then you overconsume it. Everything in excess is dangerous. So be very careful also with your consumption. For me personally, I use rosemary to spice up my food. So I have limited amounts in what I consume. So how do you use rosemary herb? Personally, I use it in my kitchen as a spice to cook my various dishes. It has very fragrant smell. It smells so good, guys. And mostly I use it as a spice to aromatize my dishes. But it can be used in a number of ways. Some people use it in aromatherapy, for example. You can use it either directly or indirectly. What do I mean by that? Many people have learned how to extract the oil from rosemary. So a few drops of oil is put in steaming water, and you just inhale that during the aromatherapy. But you can also do it directly. You can just put some of your rosemary in hot water and inhale that very fragrant smell. It is very good. It will relieve you of congestion and things like that. I have done it before, and also this I do particularly to chase away mosquitoes and just make the rooms smell so good. So yeah. Another way that you can use rosemary is just to bring in your hot water and put the fresh herb in it and let it just set. Later on you can sieve it and use it as either your mouthwash or for your hair, rinsing off your hair. And that is why there are many testimonies that promotes hair growth. But remember guys, you should not just rely on these herbs to promote your hair growth. Hair growth also relates very much on your dieting, your general health. So if you have other problems that are associated with maybe poor hair growth, etc., don't blame it on rosemary for not working, or don't overwork the rosemary. Yeah, you have to solve the underlying problem. If you have to eat more nutritious foods, or you have to live more healthily to promote your hair growth, do that. So which other ways do you use rosemary? please feel free to share with me on the comment section. I'll be very happy to learn from you as well. So I'm going to talk about one of the challenges that you have expressed in regards to propagating rosemary. How do you propagate your rosemary, guys? So supposing you have this particular plant here. First of all, if you're using your rosemary in your kitchen, you have to learn how to nibble on your plant. Please don't destroy the one plant that you have. I have one particular lady that I gave my rosemary plant, and I went like a couple of weeks later, and the whole plant had no leaves on it because she didn't know how to use her rosemary in her kitchen, for example. So when you are in your kitchen and you only have this one particular plant, please be very careful how you nibble on it. So you nibble at the tips like this. You nibble at the tips, and this too is going to help your plant grow more branches horizontally. So when you nibble at the tips like this, you can use what you have here in your kitchen, and you'll be helping the plant in the long run, or right then, right? So the plant is going to grow more horizontal branches and give you more lash if you do that. Secondly, if you want to propagate your rosemary from this particular plant, pick your scissor. I don't encourage you to just break it like I'm going to do now, but yeah, get your scissor and just take a branch like that, depending on the number of seedlings that you want. So take something like this and use your scissor to remove the leaves like up to that point. Then this insert that part in the soil, and you'll have your rosemary thriving 1 week later. So yeah, that is how you propagate your plant. So from this particular plant, I can have this, I can have another one, I can have another one. And this is part of pruning that is going to enhance your plant growth. Remember the importance of pruning, right? Learn how to nibble it well. And if you're pruning, please use a scissor or a knife to cut properly so that you don't injure your plant and you have as many seedlings as you want from one plant. That is how we do it, guys. The other thing that you have to be very mindful about when growing your rosemary is, of course, the soil. The rosemary does not like particularly clay, likes something loamy, good soil. So like I said previously, let us learn to make our compost so that whatever soil we have, we can improve. You're not going to have good soil all the time wherever you go, but if we know how to make our own compost and improve our soil, then we're going to make our plants' lives very easy. So make sure that you get your soil and mix well with manure, and then put your cuttings in that particular soil to get new seedlings for rosemary. And again, the other thing is, guys, rosemary does not like a lot of water. When you plant your rosemary, for example, the cutting that I just showed you, make sure to water it well. Don't overwater and don't underwater it either. So you have to to make sure that the soil is moist but not wet and not very dry. Of course, any plant does not like very dry conditions. Every plant thrives when they have some water because there are a lot of processes. They are living things, so there's a lot of processes that are happening within the plant as well. So let us learn how to water our plant, particularly this time the rosemary. The other thing, guys, you have to understand your plant. Rosemary is not a shade plant, so it's not going to do well under the shade at all. It needs direct sunlight for at least 6 hours straight. So this is a plant that you have to be very strategic about. When you're planting it, you have to make sure that it gets direct sunlight. If you put it under the shade and gets very little light, then it's going to be affected one way or the other. The rosemary is a native to the Mediterranean region, and again I will talk about that. Guys, if you hear about a certain plant being native to this particular region, most times we have this mindset that it's not going to do well in our own region. We have proven many times that that is very wrong. The plant could do way better on that side, but it can still do well here too. So don't be discouraged when you hear it is native to the Mediterranean region, because it can do well here. We have a lot of sunlight, we have water access, we have this, we have that. So don't limit yourself and don't be discouraged that rosemary would not do well here in the tropics, because we have all it takes for it to grow. And that also applies to all the other plants. Most people ask me, is it going to work, this plant going to work well here because I got it from this particular region? Don't be discouraged. You might have another version of it grow. It doesn't matter, guys. Let us just plant and plant more trees, plant vegetables to relieve us of the burden of always spending to buy groceries. Let us plant to fight climate change, because climate change is the reason that we suffer of famine in different parts of the world. So let us fight climate change through urban farming. And again, remember, urban farming is not just about growing your foods, it's about growing plants in general. You can decide to have your forest in your compound. That is still urban farming, as long as you're doing it in the urban setting. We're going to look at, we have the rural agriculture, and we have the peri-urban farming, and then we have the urban farming, which you have to understand, because in the urban setting we have very limited space. So that's all about the rosemary today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment below, and I'm very happy to learn about your progress, your experience with growing rosemary plants. Whatever challenges you have, please share with us. We are a family of all after all, and we are happy to share our experiences and also encourage you one way or the other to and also advise you depending on each other's experience. So let me know how your rosemary plant is doing, if you have already propagated so many, and let me know the challenges you're facing too, and we shall be happy to join hands and handle that together. So I look forward to engaging with you in the comment section. Until next time, bye bye.